Assalamu alaikum, welcome to 9 p.m. English News Edition. Dehlens. A first group of Egyptian pilgrims returned after completing the Hajj 2026. For international scene, Syrian civil defense implies to assist a flood victim flowing to a Euphrates River rise. Those were the Lansana to the National News. The President of the Assembly, Later Mohammed Later, received a high-level delegation this morning at his office. The delegation including the newly appointed Minister of Youth and Culture, Ms. Ferdousa Musaige, and the Regional Director of the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, for Arab State and Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations, Dr. Abdallah Al-Adardari. This meeting came within the framework of an ongoing effort to strengthen institutional dialogue and cooperation between national authorities and technical financial partners, particularly the United Nations system, in support of sustainable human development. During the discussion, the focus was primarily on national priorities related to youth, culture, and inclusive development. Participants emphasized the strategic importance of Egyptian youth and key driver of economic growth and social cohesion, also innovation. The Minister of Youth and Culture, Mr. Ferdousa Musaige, also presented her ministry's key priorities, include program aimed at promoting the socio-economic inclusion and young people, revitalizing the national cultural heritage and supporting artistic and cultural initiative. Today, Djibouti City witnessed the signing ceremony of a declaration of intent for a strategic partnership on the well-being and also prosperity of youth. The event held at the National Assembly was attended by a representative from the Egyptian National Assembly, the Minister of Youth and Culture, and the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP), reflecting shared commitment to supporting national policies and initiatives aimed at the young people. Then the ceremony was chaired by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Mr. Dalita Mohammed Dalita, and attended by approximately 60 participants, including members of Parliament, youth representatives, and several senior national officials. This meeting was organized at the initiative of the National Assembly to coincide with the first official visit to Djibouti by the UNDP Regional Director for Arab State and Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations, Dr. Abdallah Al-Adardari. The event provided a platform for a constructive and inclusive dialogue on youth issues and national development. Then the discussion focused on the importance of considering youth as a strategic pillar and a key driver of economic, social, and cultural development in the country, emphasizing the adaptation of a comprehensive and integrated approach known as the portfolio approach. On this occasion, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Mrs. Ferdousa Musaige, expressed her gratitude to the United Nations Development Programme. Then the Speaker of National Assembly affirmed that this initiative embodies a firm conviction that young people are the heart of our future and integral part of our present. He said it is a true honor for the National Assembly to host today the signing ceremony of this declaration of intent between the government of the Republic of Djibouti, represented by the Minister of Youth and Culture, and United Nations Development Programme. He said then this initiative embodies a firm conviction that young people are the heart of our future and integral part of our present. In our country, young people represent a dynamic force, immense and potential, and also a collective responsibility that rests on the shoulders of our institutions. a no economic framework cooperation agreement signed to enhance state profitable governance and improve financial transparency. Today, at the Office of His Excellency, the Minister of Economy and Finance, responsible for industry, a framework cooperation agreement was signed between the Executive Secretariat in charge of state portfolio and the Djibouti Institute of Certified Public Accountancy under auspices of His Excellency the Minister. This technical and advisory agreement falls within the framework of reform led by the Minister of Economy and Finance in the area of the government of public bodies and institutions. It aims to enhance the transparency of financial and economic information related to the state for profit to improve its coordination and increase its readability. The Minister of Women and Families Affairs received UNDP delegation this afternoon. The Minister of Women and Family Affairs received a large delegation from United Nations Development Program UNDP, headed by the regional director and also accompanied by several of his assistants. The meeting held in the presence of Minister, official and staff took place in the atmosphere of a constructive dialogue and also cooperation. And then the discussion focused on strengthening the partnership between the Ministry and UNDP, particularly in the area of women's empowerment, promoting gender equality, supporting social protection, and also supporting development program that benefit the most vulnerable families and also communities. The Minister committed the UNDP's ongoing commitment to Djibouti and emphasized the importance of a continued joint effort to improve the living condition of women and also families through innovative and sustainable project. And the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Mr. Rodwan Abdullah Badon, inspected the strategic infrastructure of National Desalination Authority. As part of the introductory, the Minister Rodwan Abdullah Badon, under his supervision, the newly appointed Minister of Agriculture, Water, Fisheries, Livestock and Marine Resources, Mr. Rodwan Abdullah Badon, conducted a file visit this morning to the sea water desalination plant Dorale and wastewater treatment plant in Belbela. These are among the most vital and strategic infrastructure projects in the water and sanitation sector. The minister then began his visit at the Dorale seawater desalination plant, where he was received by the Director General of the National Desalination Authority, Mr. Mohammed Fuad Abdu, along with other plant officials. Following the welcoming ceremony, the minister received a detailed presentation on the function of this strategic facility, its operational mechanism, and its development prospect. This plant, inaugurated by His Excellency the President of the Republic, His Excellency Muhammad Miguel, in March 2021, is considered a cornerstone of national water security. Its current production capacity is 22 and 1,500 kbs a meter or drinking water per day, with expectation to double this production capacity in the near future to keep pace with population growth and increasing demand for potable water. As part of her formalization tour, encompassing various institutions within the transport sector, the newly appointed Minister of Infrastructure and Equipment, Mr. Saeed Noor Hassan, conducted a field visit today to Djibouti International Airport and several other bodies and also institutions operating within the national airport system. The minister received a warm welcome upon his arrival at Djibouti International Airport, where he was greeted by the Director General of the airport, Mr. Mohammed Yusuf Sharmaki, along with a number of the authorities, officials and airport staff. This visit holds a particular significance for those working in the aviation sector, given that the minister previously served as Secretary General of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Equipment. His return to the minister, to the head of the sector, has been met with a great appreciation and welcome from various stakeholders in the field. During his tour, the minister visited the headquarters of the Civil Aviation Authority, where he was received by the Director General, Mr. Daoud Ali Abdou. The visit provided an opportunity to learn about the strategic tasks undertaken by the authority in regulating air transport, ensuring the highest standard of safety and security, and also overseeing compliance with applicable international standards and regulation in the aviation sectors. Then the minister visited the Djibouti Meteorological Agency, where he was received by its Director General, Mr. Mohammed Ismail. The minister was privately on the various technical equipment and was weather monitoring and forecasting system that contribute daily to ensure the safety of air and maritime navigation, as well as providing social climate data to various national sectors. The visit also included a representative from the Air Transport Policy and the Customs Administration, both of which play a pivotal role in the security and safety of air transport by monitoring and securing airport facilities and ensuring the smooth flow of passengers and also cargo. The tour concluded in celebratory atmosphere at the headquarters of the National Carrier Air Djibouti in the presence of the Director General, Mr. Abdurrahman Ali Abdullah. A symbolic ceremony was held, including the cutting of a celebratory cake to welcome the minister and congratulate him on his appointment. At the conclusion of his visit, the Minister of Infrastructure and Equipment renewed his commitment to continue effort aimed at the modernizing, developing, and also strengthening the infrastructure of the airport and the civil aviation sector in Djibouti in order to support the country's air connectivity, its security, and also consolidate its position as a regional hub for transport and logistics. Then the first group of Jewish pilgrims returned home after performing the Hajj. The Republic of Djibouti welcomed the first group of pilgrims returned from the Holy Land this morning, Monday, after performing the Hajj pilgrimage for the year 1447 Hijrah. The atmosphere was filled with faith, joy, and tranquility after completing the fifth pillar of Islam. The first group of 140 pilgrims arrived at Hamboli International Airport on Flynas flight. They were received by the Minister of Islamic Affairs and Employment, Mr. Mumin Hassan Bari, accompanied by several senior officials from his ministry. This coincided with the achievement of the Republic of Djibouti in receiving the gold award in recognition of the outstanding service provided to its pilgrim during the 2026 Hajj season. During the official closing ceremony of the Hajj season organized by the Minister of Hajj and Umrah of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Mecca, the Minister of Islamic and Employment, Mr. Mumin Hassan Bari, accepted the award on behalf of the Republic of Djibouti in recognition of the effort made to improve the quality of service and care provided to Jewish pilgrims. Another statement made upon welcoming the pilgrim, the Minister of Islamic Affairs, Mr. Mumin Hassan Bari, expressed his pride in the great success achievement by the Republic of Djibouti during this year Hajj season, which culminated in the awarding of the gold award of in recognition of the outstanding service provided to its pilgrim during the 2026 Hajj season. He said, as you can see here today, we welcome the first group of Jewish pilgrims returning home after performing the Hajj ritual. Their face reflects joy and peace after completing this great obligation. We ask God Almighty to accept the good deeds and acts of worship of all the pilgrims for the Republic of Djibouti. The 2026 Hajj season and held especially significance after our country received the gold award from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a recognition that reflected the prominent position of Djibouti has attaining in serving the guest of God. Anno the new appointed Minister of Information Post and Telecommunication, Mr. Mradwan, and say an official visit to Djibouti, a telecommunication company. The phase of the returning. The newly appointment of the Information Post and Telecommunication official visit to Djibouti, a telecommunication company, as part of his introductory tour of various stations under his purview. The newly appointed Minister of Information Post and Telecommunication, Mr. Mohammed Abdelkader Musa Hilim, paid his first official visit to Djibouti telecommunication company this morning. This visit is part of his ongoing introductory tour, which began after examining office, during which he met with several key departments within his ministry. Following his visit to the state broadcaster, the new minister was received at the headquarters of Djibouti Telecommunication Company, where he was warmly welcomed in a gesture reflecting the importance of cooperation among the various stakeholders in the sector. Upon his arrival at the headquarters, the minister was greeted by the Director General of the Djibouti Telecom Company, Mr. Mohamed Assoui Bouh, along with a number of officials and employees who gave him a very warm welcome. Following this reception, the minister, accompanied by his aide, held a working meeting with the heads of the various departments of the National Telecommunication Company. So this meeting provided an opportunity to present the company's key activities, its current performance, and its future developmental prospects. In his address, the Minister of Information, Posts and Telecommunication, Mr. Mohammed Abdelkader Musa Helm, expressed his gratitude for the warm welcome, saying, "It is truly an honor to be here today among the management and team of Jubilee Telecom. Jubilee Telecom may appear small from the outside, but everything it has accomplished and contributed to Jubilee in this file is truly commendable and worth of appreciation." Then visit of the Minister of Trade and also to the Industrial and Commercial Prosperity Office in Jubilee as part of his tour of institution under his ministry. His Excellency the Minister of Trade and Tourism, Mr. Orpiz Alfe Orpiz, visited the Industrial and Commercial Prosperity Office in Jubilee Obdike to this morning. Upon his arrival, His Excellency he was received by the Director General of the Office, Mr. Ahmed Mohamed Usman, along with the office's staff and directors. This visit reflects His Excellency keenness to better understand the task, achievement and challenges of institution under his ministry and to strengthen cooperation as well as coordination among the various entities. During the meeting, the Minister was given a detailed presentation on the activities of Industrial and Commercial Prosperity Office, highlighting its strategic role in protecting industrial and commercial prosperity and also improving the business environment in Jubilee. Then, in the same context, he says the Minister of Trade, Mr. Orbis, Helaf Orbis, visited the National Tourism Authority this morning. Upon his arrival, His Excellency was received by the Director General of the National Tourism Authority, Mr. Usman Abdi Mohammed, along with a number of the authorities officials and staff. This visit is part of the Ministry's effort to strengthen dialogue with the various bodies affiliated with the Ministry and to learn about their activities, achievements, and future development prospects. During the meeting, the representative of the National Tourism Authority gave a private presentation on the authorities' main tasks the measure is taken to promote Jubilee as a tourist destination and the ongoing project aimed at developing and enhance the tourism sectors. The new minister commended the authority for in promoting Jubilee's image at the regional international level, emphasizing the strategic importance of the tourism sector in diversifying the national economy, creating jobs and supporting sustainable development. Youth Conference Environment and Climate. The Youth Conference Environment and Climate focuses on the future of work, technology and sustainability in Churchin environment was held yesterday morning at the Ayla Grand Hotel.
On environment and climate was held yesterday morning at Ayla Hotel under the theme The Future of Work, Technology and Sustainability in a Changing Environment. The opening ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Youth and Culture, Ms. Ferdousa, who reaffirmed the importance of youth engagement in addressing the environmental and climate challenges facing the world today. organized by an individual youth movement with the support of the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development in coordination with the United Nations system and with the backing official Change Factory, the Red Sea and East African Bank. The conference brought together young people, government officials, development partners and representatives of civil society. The discussion will focus on the transformation taking place in the world of work, the growing impact of new technologies and the need to integrate principles of sustainable development into public policies and youth-led initiative. In her remarks, the minister emphasized that young people are a vital force in addressing climate change and building a greener, more innovative and resilient economy. Through these various working sessions and panel discussion, participants highlight the central role of education, innovation, and entrepreneurship in preparing young people for the job of the future. The conference forms part of ongoing efforts to strengthen youth participation in national and international initiatives aimed at promoting sustainable development and climate action.
On this occasion, the Minister of Youth and Culture expressed her pleasure at the opening of this youth conference on climate.
C'est avec un immense plaisir que je prends la parole pour présider l'ouverture de cette conférence de la jeunesse sur l'environnement et le climat.
Taking the floor, the new Minister of Youth and Culture, Ms. Ferdousa Moussa, began her speech by emphasizing the critical importance of a youth conference on environment and climate. She stated that this meeting represents an essential platform for reflection, dialogue, and action in favor of young people in the face of growing challenges related to climate change, technological transformation, and the evolving labor market. The Minister expressed her sincere gratitude to the one and individual youth movement for organizing the event, as well as to the technical and financial partners, particularly the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development and the United Nations Development Program for their continuous commitment to supporting the youth. In her address, she also paid tribute to the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, commending their enlightened and consistent commitment to the youth, which she described as a fundamental pillar of the national development. Ms. Ferdousa Moussa reaffirmed the government's determination to support young people in acquiring skills, fostering innovation, and promoting sustainable entrepreneurship in order to make youth a central driver of a country's economic and ecological transformation.
Mr. Kasim Harun Ali held a coordination meeting today with a member of his core team at the institution's headquarters. This meeting came as part of the institution's commitment to strengthening its operational continuity and improving its performance, in line with its mandate to uphold the principle of public service and promote dialogue, listening and communication with citizens. At the conclusion of the meeting, the institution's staff congratulated the ombudsman during a celebratory dinner. On this occasion, the ombudsman, Mr. Kasim Harun Ali, emphasized the importance of continuing the effort to support good governance and strengthen communication channels between public administration and service users, thereby contributing to improving performance and ties between institutions and citizens. On the original scene, Ethiopian went to polls on Monday with the Prosperity Party PP of incumbent Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed seat for a landslide win.
Voters in Ethiopia have gone to the poll to participate in parliamentary election aimed at selecting new member of parliament. The vote is taking place across various regions of the country under organizational and security arrangements designed to ensure the smooth conduct of the electoral process and facilitate citizens' participation. These elections are part of Ethiopia's broader political process, and the results are expected to help determine the composition of the future parliament as well as the country's political balance in the coming period. Local and international observers are monitoring the voting process, while authorities have emphasized the importance of participant and adherence to transparency standards throughout the election and vote continuing procedures.
Another international scene, Syrian civil defense mobilized to aid flood victim after Euphrates river floods. Syrian civil defense team are continuing the relief operation in eastern Syria to assist the families affected by the floods caused by the overflowing Euphrates river. According to the local authorities, the rising water has emerged in several residential and cultural areas, causing significant material damage and forcing many families to flee their homes. A rescue team have been deployed to evacuate residents from the most vulnerable area and provided them with emergency assistance. That's it for this edition. Thanks for your attention. Wonderful evening.